What if I told you that a little boy whose bicycle was stolen would one day become the most famous boxer on earth? A boy from a humble family who had no special advantages would grow up to inspire millions with his courage, confidence, and determination. This is the incredible story of Muhammad Ali, a man who didn't just become a champion in the ring, but became a symbol of hope, courage, and self-belief for the entire world. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Universal English. Today, we begin the inspiring journey of one of the greatest athletes in history, Muhammad Ali. People called him the greatest. He was fast, fearless, and full of confidence. He won world championships, inspired millions of people, and became much more than a boxer. But behind the fame and success was a young boy who faced struggles, disappointments, and difficult challenges. This is not just the story of a sports legend. It is the story of believing in yourself even when the world doubts you. It is the story of turning pain into motivation and dreams into reality. This is the story of Muhammad Ali. A humble beginning. Muhammad Ali was born as Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. on January 17, 1942, in the city of Louisville. His family was not rich. His father worked as a painter and sign artist, while his mother worked hard to take care of the family. Life was simple, and money was often limited. But despite the difficulties, young Cassius grew up in a loving home. From a very young age, he was full of energy. He loved to talk. He loved to laugh. And he loved competition. Even as a child, he wanted to be the best at everything he did. Nobody knew that this energetic little boy would one day become one of the most famous people in the world. Growing up in difficult times. Cassius grew up during a time when many people faced discrimination and unfair treatment. The world around him was not always kind. He saw injustice and inequality from a young age. Sometimes these experiences made him angry and confused. But they also made him stronger. They taught him the importance of dignity and self-respect. These lessons would later shape his personality and make him one of the most influential figures in sports history. The bicycle that changed everything. When Cassius was 12 years old, something happened that changed his life forever. Someone stole his bicycle. For most children, losing a bicycle would simply be a bad day. But for Cassius, it became the beginning of an extraordinary journey. He was furious. He wanted to find the thief and fight him. While looking for help, he met a police officer named Joe Martin. The officer listened to the angry young boy and said, "If you want to fight somebody, you should first learn how to box." Those simple words changed his future. Sometimes, the biggest opportunities come from life's biggest disappointments. Discovering a passion. Soon after that day, Cassius entered a boxing gym. Everything around him fascinated him. The punching bags, the gloves, the sound of fighters training, the discipline, the energy. He felt something special. For the first time, he discovered a passion that would shape his entire life. He began training immediately. At first, nobody knew how far he would go. But one thing was clear. He loved boxing. And when someone truly loves something, they are willing to work hard for it. A boy who refused to quit. Boxing was not easy. Training was difficult and exhausting. Some days were painful. Some days were frustrating. But young Cassius never gave up. He practiced every day. He listened carefully to his coaches. He wanted to learn everything. While other children spent their time playing games, Cassius spent hours improving his skills. Success always demands sacrifice. And even at a young age, he was willing to make those sacrifices. The birth of confidence. One thing made Cassius different from other young athletes. He believed in himself. He often said, "I am going to be the greatest." Some people laughed. Others thought he was simply showing off. But Cassius understood something important. Words are powerful. The things we repeatedly say to ourselves influence our actions. He spoke about success because he believed success was possible. His confidence became one of his greatest weapons. Years later, millions of people would remember his famous words. "I am the greatest!" But long before the world believed him, he believed in himself. Learning the value of hard work. Confidence alone cannot create champions. Hard work does. Cassius trained tirelessly. He woke up early. He exercised for hours. He practiced his punches and movements again and again. Many people only saw his victories. Very few saw the countless hours of hard work behind those victories. Champions are built when nobody is watching. And young Cassius was slowly building himself into a champion, winning his first fights. As time passed, Cassius started participating in amateur boxing matches. He won many of them. People began noticing his speed. Unlike many boxers, he moved quickly and gracefully. His footwork was exceptional. He seemed to float around the ring. His coaches realized that they were training someone special. Every victory increased his confidence. Every challenge made him stronger. The little boy who had entered the gym because of a stolen bicycle was becoming a serious athlete. A dream gets bigger. With every success, Cassius's dreams grew. He no longer wanted to be just a good boxer. He wanted to become the best. He wanted to become a world champion. And most importantly, he wanted to represent his country. This dream pushed him to work even harder. Many people dream of greatness. Few people are willing to do the work necessary to achieve it. Cassius was different. He was willing to work harder than almost anyone else. The Olympic opportunity. In 1960, a huge opportunity arrived. Cassius qualified for the 1960 Summer Olympics. He would travel to Rome and compete against some of the world's best young boxers. For a young man from Louisville, this was a dream come true. But there was one problem. He was afraid of flying. The thought of traveling by airplane frightened him. Some people thought he might not even go to the Olympics. But Cassius refused to let fear control him. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward despite being afraid. And that is exactly what he did. A star is born. At the Olympic Games, Cassius performed brilliantly. He fought with confidence and determination. Round after round, he defeated his opponents. Finally, he reached the championship match. Millions of people had never heard his name before. But that was about to change. When the final fight ended, the young boxer from Louisville stood victorious. He had won the gold medal. He was now an Olympic champion. The world had discovered a new star. The little boy whose bicycle had once been stolen had achieved his first great dream. The beginning of something bigger. Winning an Olympic gold medal changed everything. People began paying attention to him. New opportunities appeared. The future looked bright. But becoming an Olympic champion was only the beginning. The young man who called himself the greatest was about to enter professional boxing. There, he would face even greater challenges, tougher opponents, and moments that would test his courage like never before. His journey to becoming a legend had only just begun, entering professional boxing. After winning the gold medal at the 1960 Summer Olympics, Cassius Clay returned to America as a young hero. People admired his confidence and his talent. But the world of professional boxing was completely different from amateur boxing. The opponents were stronger. The fights were tougher. The pressure was much greater. Many people believed that the young Olympic champion would struggle. Cassius, however, believed something different. He believed he was destined for greatness. He entered professional boxing with enormous confidence and an unbreakable determination to become the heavyweight champion of the world. The young fighter who loved to talk. Cassius was not like other boxers. He talked constantly. He predicted the rounds in which he would defeat his opponents. He told reporters that he was the greatest. Some people loved his confidence. Others thought he was arrogant. Many critics believed he talked too much. But Cassius understood something important. Confidence can become a powerful weapon. He used his words to attract attention and to motivate himself. He once said, "It's the repetition of affirmations that leads to belief." The young boxer was building not only his body, but also his mindset. Victory after victory. As the years passed, Cassius kept winning. His speed amazed everyone. Heavyweight boxers were usually powerful but slow. Cassius was different. He moved around the ring like a dancer. He could avoid punches with incredible speed. People started saying, "He floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee." Fight after fight, his reputation grew. Newspapers wrote about him. Fans started following him. The young man from Louisville was becoming one of the most exciting athletes in America. The biggest fight of his life. In 1964, Cassius received the opportunity he had dreamed about. He would fight the heavyweight champion, Sonny Liston. Most experts believed that Liston would win easily. Some even thought the fight would end in only a few rounds. Very few people believed in Cassius. But Cassius believed in himself. He trained harder than ever before. He spoke confidently and promised victory. On the night of the fight, the world watched in surprise. Cassius fought brilliantly. Round after round, he outperformed the champion. Finally, Sonny Liston could not continue. The young challenger had done the impossible. At only 22 years old, Cassius Clay became the heavyweight champion of the world. The boy with the stolen bicycle had become king of boxing. A new name, a new identity. Soon after becoming champion, Cassius made another important decision. He announced that he had joined the Nation of Islam. He also announced a new name. From that day forward, he wanted to be called Muhammad Ali. Some people accepted his decision. Others criticized him. The change created controversy. But Muhammad Ali believed that every person has the right to choose their own identity and beliefs. He remained firm in his decision. This courage would become one of the defining qualities of his life, standing up for his beliefs. In the late 1960s, America became deeply involved in the Vietnam War. Many young men were being called to serve in the military. Muhammad Ali made a decision that shocked the world. He refused military service because of his religious beliefs and personal principles. His decision created enormous controversy. Many people criticized him. Some newspapers attacked him. Some fans turned against him. As a result, he was stripped of his heavyweight title and was unable to compete in professional boxing for several years. For many athletes, this would have been the end of their careers. But Muhammad Ali refused to give up. The price of conviction. The years away from boxing were extremely difficult. Ali lost opportunities, money, and championships. But he did not lose his courage. He continued speaking about his beliefs. He accepted the consequences of his decisions. This period of his life showed the world that he was more than a boxer. He was a man willing to sacrifice his career for his principles. Whether people agreed with him or not, many respected his courage. Standing for your beliefs is often difficult. Muhammad Ali proved that true strength is not only physical. It is also moral. The return of a champion. Eventually, Muhammad Ali returned to professional boxing. But things had changed. He was older. New champions had emerged. Many experts believed that his best years were over. Once again, people doubted him. And once again, Muhammad Ali prepared to prove them wrong. He trained harder than ever before. He believed that his greatest victories were still ahead. The fight of the century. In 1971, Muhammad Ali faced Joe Frazier in one of the most famous boxing matches ever. The event became known as the fight of the century. Millions of people around the world watched. The fight was intense and dramatic. Ali fought with courage, but this time he suffered his first professional defeat. Losing was painful. For years, he had seemed unbeatable. Now he had experienced failure. But champions are not defined only by their victories. They are also defined by how they respond to defeat. Muhammad Ali refused to quit. He returned to training and continued pursuing greatness. The Rumble in the Jungle. In 1974, another historic opportunity arrived. Ali would face the powerful champion George Foreman in a fight held in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Almost everyone believed that Foreman would win. He was younger, stronger, and had defeated many opponents easily. Again, Muhammad Ali was considered the underdog. But Ali had a plan. He fought intelligently and patiently. Then, in one of the greatest moments in sports history, he defeated George Foreman and regained the heavyweight championship. The world celebrated. Muhammad Ali had once again achieved the impossible. More than a boxer. By now, Muhammad Ali was more than an athlete. He had become a global icon. People admired his courage, confidence, and determination. Children wanted to be like him. Athletes looked up to him. His words inspired millions. He showed people that success is not only about winning titles. It is also about standing for something greater than yourself. The next challenge. Muhammad Ali had regained his championship and become one of the most famous people on earth. But life still had more challenges waiting for him. The years ahead would test him in ways no boxing match ever could. A difficult battle was approaching. One that could not be fought inside a boxing ring. How did Muhammad Ali face illness and continue inspiring the world? And why do people still call him the greatest today? A champion beyond the ring. By the late 1970s, Muhammad Ali had achieved almost everything a boxer could dream of. He had become the heavyweight champion of the world more than once. He had defeated some of the greatest fighters in history. Millions of people admired him. His name was known in every corner of the world. But fame and success do not protect anyone from life's challenges. A new battle was waiting for him. And this time, it would not be fought with boxing gloves. The end of a boxing career. As the years passed, boxing became more difficult for Ali. He had spent decades training, fighting, and pushing his body to its limits. The speed that once amazed the world slowly began to fade. His body was becoming tired. Many people wanted him to retire while he was still a champion. But like many great athletes, Ali found it difficult to walk away from the sport he loved. Eventually, he decided to retire from professional boxing. The world said goodbye to one of the greatest fighters in history. An incredible chapter had ended. But an even more inspiring chapter was about to begin. A difficult diagnosis. In 1984, Muhammad Ali received heartbreaking news. He had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. This illness affects movement and gradually makes everyday activities more difficult. For a man who had once moved around the boxing ring like a dancer, the diagnosis was painful. His hands began to shake. His speech became slower. Simple tasks became challenging. Many people wondered how the former champion would react. Would he become angry? Would he lose hope? But Muhammad Ali chose a different path. He chose courage. Fighting a different battle. Ali once said, "Impossible is not a fact. It's an opinion." He lived by those words. Even though Parkinson's disease made life difficult, he refused to let the illness define him. He continued traveling. He continued meeting people. He continued inspiring millions. The man who had defeated champions in the boxing ring was now teaching the world another lesson. True strength is not only about physical power. True strength is about facing difficulties with courage and dignity. Every day became a new challenge. But every day also became an opportunity to inspire others. A hero to millions. As time passed, people began to admire Muhammad Ali even more. Not because of his punches, not because of his championships, but because of his character. He remained kind and humble. He visited sick children. He supported charities. He helped people in need. Wherever he went, crowds gathered to see him. To millions of people, Ali represented hope. He proved that greatness is not measured only by trophies. It is measured by how you treat others and how you face life's difficulties. Lighting the Olympic flame. One of the most emotional moments of Ali's life came in 1996. The world watched the opening ceremony of the 1996 Summer Olympics. Suddenly, Muhammad Ali appeared. His hands were shaking because of Parkinson's disease. Yet he stood proudly before the world. Then he lit the Olympic flame. Millions of people watching on television felt emotional. Some cried. Others stood and applauded. It was one of the most unforgettable moments in sports history. The champion who had once won Olympic gold as a young man was now inspiring the world once again. Lessons from Muhammad Ali's life. The life of Muhammad Ali teaches us many important lessons. First, believe in yourself even when others doubt you. Ali declared that he was the greatest, long before the world believed it. Second, hard work is the foundation of success. Behind every victory were thousands of hours of training and sacrifice. Third, have the courage to stand for your beliefs. Ali lost titles and opportunities because he refused to abandon his principles. Fourth, never give up when life becomes difficult. Even after being diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, he continued inspiring millions. And finally, remember that true greatness comes from helping others and leaving the world a better place. The final goodbye. On June 3, 2016, Muhammad Ali passed away at the age of 74. The news shocked people around the world. Leaders, athletes, actors, and ordinary people all paid tribute to him. Millions mourned his loss. But even though he was gone, his legacy remained alive. His fights are still remembered. His words still inspire people. And his example continues to teach important lessons about courage, dignity, and determination. Very few athletes become legends. Muhammad Ali became something even greater. He became a symbol of hope. Why the world still remembers him. Today, when people hear the name Muhammad Ali, they do not think only about boxing. They think about confidence. They think about courage. They think about standing up for what is right. They think about perseverance. Ali's story proves that success is not only about being the strongest person in the room. It is about having the courage to face challenges and the determination to keep moving forward. His life reminds us that every person has the power to inspire others. A little boy lost his bicycle. That small event led him into a boxing gym. Inside that gym, he discovered his passion. That passion turned him into an Olympic champion. The Olympic champion became the heavyweight champion of the world. And the world champion became one of the most beloved figures in history. Muhammad Ali's journey shows us that our circumstances do not decide our future. Our decisions do. Our discipline does. Our courage does. No matter where you come from, no matter how difficult life becomes, never stop believing in yourself. Because the next great champion could be you. Thank you for watching Universal English. If Muhammad Ali's inspiring story motivated you, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who needs encouragement today. Keep learning English, keep believing in yourself, and remember, great champions are not born. They are made through courage, hard work, and determination. See you in the next video.